Hello everyone. So I want to do a bit of a video blog on just a thought I've had in vocalizing it about the issue of travel, because right now, 2021, we're going into 2022. A lot of people have been restricted with travel and wanting to do it more. I actually myself have been wanting to travel, but have to hold off on it for now, just when it actually makes more sense and there's not so many restrictions. And the thing that I'm going to address is that I think travel is a little bit overrated. And I say this because most people always talk about travel like it's the greatest thing. And that doesn't mean I don't think it's a good thing. The fact that you can jump on a plane and go to a foreign land that a couple hundred years ago you'd never have this ability to do so is an amazing thing. But people always would talk about travel like it's a be all and end all, and they say how they grow so much from traveling, and then I see a lot of them and they just seem the same old people. They don't seem smarter or more enlightened or more effective at what they're doing. Maybe that's just my surface level impression, but some of these people will be my good friends, and I don't see anything that different about them over the years. So for me, in the last 4 years, I've made more effort to travel and get outside my comfort zone, right? And before that, I traveled a little bit, mainly for work, and they would pay me to go to that respective place, and then I'd also have an objective. Usually I'd be taking out clients and taking them out for dinner, so I'd get to see the place, so there'd be some sort of focus, right? And so the last 4 years I was like, you know what, I haven't traveled enough compared to some people, and decided to do more of it, which it's been a good thing, and I think it's the right stage for me to do it, because financially I could do it. Now I have flexibility also with my work to do it, being able to work remotely. But I'm glad I waited, because I still kind of feel the same feeling that I felt about it, is that it might be a little bit overrated, that people always talk about it like it's the be all and end all, and I don't really find that to be the case, right? For me, travel is interesting when I've done a lot of study about a place. So I love to read a lot and study things, and then there's an experience of traveling there that once I've got a certain context of going there, it fills in that frame, right? And I think that that's where I really enjoy traveling myself, right? So I've been studying Korean and the language, and then going there, seeing the actual land and people and all those things really sort of gives me that understanding of how culturally different they are from the Western world. Even though most of the world is westernized. I live in Toronto, Canada, which is a pretty multicultural place. So also I get to experience a lot of people from different places just from where I am, right? And Toronto is pretty liberal. Most people don't really care where you're from. Maybe a little too liberal at times, but I get that experience of talking with a lot of different people and where they're from. But that's the thing, it just comes down to is that, like, already in my daily life, I already have a lot of things that I enjoy, right? And so I gave the example with Toronto already being diverse, and I'd already see a lot of people from different backgrounds, and also I'd have a lot of hobbies here, and I've always had a lot of hobbies. So whether it be making music, playing guitar, being part of a band, doing martial arts, even computer programming as a hobby when it wasn't even my job, is something that I'm always excited about doing here, right? And there's a certain momentum that's required for that, right? And I felt when you're traveling, it's hard to build up momentum. I mean, part of the joy of traveling, from what I see, is the fact that you're out of your momentum. But I think for accumulated momentum, being sort of local and focused is a better thing. Because in my opinion, a hobby is something that requires a level of discipline. It's like work, but you don't get paid for it, right? And I know some people say hobby is a traveling is a hobby, and I don't know. I don't really see it that way. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of skills in traveling that you acquire, but it doesn't seem like it's the same sort of like focus where you have to repeat and have discipline, like, you know, martial arts and learning a certain kick or submission hold and doing it over 100 times, and there's a certain joy in that, right? So for me, I always had a lot of hobbies, and so, you know, I almost didn't want to travel because you know, I would lose my momentum with those things, and even just having also my relationships here and friendships here, my network of people. But there was a point also that I got, particularly 4 years, where even though Toronto being a very diverse city, that people would tend to think in a certain way still, even though they be from different cultures, and wanting to get outside that box. And definitely travel's been great for that, right? But yeah, I can't speak for other people, but like, I do feel sometimes, just from my surface level perception, sometimes people just travel because they don't have anything else to do. They don't maybe have hobbies, or they don't have things, you know, that are exciting in their daily life, right? And I made this comment to my brother, who is now married and has kids and settled down, but he traveled a lot. And I was like, you know what, I feel that people travel a lot of times because they don't have anything better to do. And he pretty much nodded his head and said, yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's the thing. There's always something that was exciting in my life that I was working on and trying to develop further, right? So anyways, I'm just stating something that some people might relate to, and you may not. Whatever makes you happy. Like, I do enjoy traveling. I'm looking forward to when this sickness ends to go out and traveling more. But I like to, you know, go to certain places and then also come back and absorb it and then have my home base as well, right? And you know, because for me it's all about the learning experience. That's how I feel the growth. But some of that also comes from having time to study about certain things about the culture and then getting a zoomed in. That's me, right? And you know, some people might not like travel at all, right? And I think that's fine, right? Like, again, you know, I had to be at a certain place in the last 4 years to finally do it, which also not only helped being also at a certain place financially, and also freedom with my work and all those other things, that I can do these type of things. So I just like to state things that are how I feel, and they may not be the popular opinion. And the most popular opinion that I tend to hear is people always being like, travel, speaking about it like it's the be all and end all. And I do feel it can be overrated, right? And for me, I get value of it as kind of like extended study. That's how I see it. It's something that if I'm studying a certain place or culture and extending upon that, but my real joy is studying things. So that's my 2 cents. Maybe you relate to my opinion, maybe you think I'm crazy. I don't care. Either way, I'm just sharing my thoughts. Okay, see you.